Welcome to my channel. I'm Venus from Heart's Desire by Venus, and we are working on, let me see, 5, 6, 7. This should be 8, I do believe. Day 8 of our Let's Make a Hybrid journal. Last week's episode was a little short. I got distracted, ran out of time. So we're continuing on with decorating this front fin here, and I'm showing you how to use elements from digital kits a little differently than you normally would. So the last time around we matted this up, put a little pocket in here. This side we got on, but we didn't do anything on the back here. So I'm going to show you today. So we're just going to mat this with some of the paper from the kit, which I've decided I'm going to just use. Nope, that's right. I want something plainer because we're going to put something on here. So just going to grab some of my scraps here and see what will actually fit on this part, because we don't want to cover up anything super nice. What have I got? What have I got here? That's right. We're going to do the little bunnies here. So I'm going to just do it 1/4 of an inch smaller than this size here. So we are looking at about 3 1/8. I better write it down so I get it straight. 3 1/8 by 4 3/4. 4 3/4 inch. So move that out of our way. All right, so then let's cut this piece up. 3 1/8. Let's just get that on there. 3 1/8. And 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Let's get that up there. Perfect. All right. So hopefully that fits in the square. I've been not doing so well in the measurements lately. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do though is, unfortunately, I got the bunnies nice and centered. But we are going to alter this. We're going to add to this before we put it in the book. So first I'm just going to distress the edges here. And because we're doing a hybrid journal here, it's, part junk journal, part mini album. It gives us a little bit more creativity in things, because I find the reason I make these, and they seem to be popular with my customers, is that you can do your journaling, but you've also got plenty of spots to put your photos. So we're going to start with that a little bit today. So that's the mat. I've taped it up, but I'm not going to do anything yet. We're going to add a photo spot on the back of this flap. Now, anybody who knows me knows I'm absolutely crazy about Genevieve Designs, and this is her photo mats. I love these. I tuck them in all my books. So I'll put the link below. I'm not being endorsed by this. I just happen to love her product. I use these all the time. I find it's just a nice little accent to put in there. So I'm just going to go around and I'm going to just cut one out. As you can see, I've got lots because I end up using these quite often. I think it just makes a nice little adding spot. Plus, it reminds people that you can put your photos in these things. It doesn't have to be all about journaling. Journaling is good in there too, but you can use this to put your pictures in, notes, all kinds of things. It does not have to be straight journaling. So I'm just going to ink the edges here. Oh, that I didn't quite get on there. Get that white spot off. Perfect. Get that going. Okay. So what I want to do is just, I think I'm going to place it here. And then what we're going to do is I'm just doing the basis on this, the general adding on things. And we're going to come back and embellish all these pages a bit later, because I'll probably put a little piece here. But this is kind of the idea that I want going on right now. So I'm just going to tape and glue it in spot here. Let's get my glue. Stick it to me. And you could do it straight, but I always like to do these just a little bit off center. And I'm just going to raise it up a bit, knowing that we're going to put something here after the fact. So we're going to take the tape off the back. And we're going to glue this up. Just going to take off my glue part here. There. A little bit of glue buildup. Glue this on. All right. And we're going to put it right here. Put it the right way up. Get it matted in here. Get it all rubbed in good. So when you flip it open, you've got a spot there for picture. Now I want to add a little embellishment on the top here. So I think we're going to do, I saw them here. One of the kits had whale tails. Whale tail tabs, I should say. So let's try and use one of those. Now, if you're lucky enough like me, I have a whale tail tab punch. Not everybody does, but you could cut this out by hand. And a lot of kits have these tabs in here. So, and I know sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to put it on a page, but look at on the little flip, it's perfect. So I'm just going to line up my punch here, and I'm just going to punch it out because I can. And we're going to just ink it up. Crease it so I can get that inking on the crease. And let's just see here, because I'm wanting to put it up here. Okay, yeah, just add it a little bit, and then what we will do is we will come back and no, I don't think we'll come back and embellish. I think I'll do it right now. It needs something, I think, or does it? What have I got? I've got flowers, which I don't think works. I think actually button. That would be perfect. Okay, so that's where we're going to do it. So let's just mark where I want to put my button. I want to put my button kind of like in the middle. Okay, so we can move this out of the way so we don't get it dirty. And that's where I'm going to want to put my embellishment. So let's just see. I've got some scrap piece of fabric here. I'm just going to cut a small square out. And just going to fray the edges. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Get all the bits off my desk. All right, and buttons. I think just a beigey, yellowy button here would be perfect. Because I'm going to put that on. I like to fold them kind of in half. So let's see. Yeah, that button or... Ooh, I like that button better. Okay. So now we're going to stitch this button in. Find my thread and needle. Yeah, that'll be perfect there. All right, let's see, find my thread and needle. Here's my needle, and I'm just going to get some thread. And I'm going to use brown because I'm doing all the stitching in brown. I'm using brown kind of as an accent in this book. That grungier look. Okay, so just line this up here. Ooh. Okay, so I poked it through the front just so I can see where I'm going to the back. And I am just going to stitch it, a couple stitches in here. And then all this is going to be hidden when we glue the tab down. So that'll be perfect. That looks good. Just going to tie it off. Oop. Hope if I could get it in there. It's kind of hard to do it without sticking my head in the camera. But I think I got it. One more knot just to be sure. Excellent. All right. So I'm just going to trim my ends. Move that needle so I don't forget about it. Ooh. All right, so then let's put some tape on here, and we will still glue as usual, but let's get some tape on there so it will give me an instant hold for where I want it. And we're going to position it, I think, right about there. And so you can come in after and distress some more, which I have a tendency to do. Okay, so we're just going to take my tape off here and put my dab of glue in. All right. I always do the one side, make it stick, and then do the, glue drool, and then do the other side. So there we go. It's not impeding on either side, but you've got this little tab, which just adds a little bit interest, I think. And I'm going to clip it. Clip it closed so that it's got maximum drying space, and wipe off the ooze glue on the other side. Perfect. So now we've got this done, and we've got this nice matting. So remember, when we did create this, we created a pocket here in the center. Just hold on. Sorry, they missed the sign that I was recording, came down looking for food, sent the boys back up. Anyway, so we did create a pocket here to do something with. And so today we're going to put the base pocket in there as well, okay? Just so you've got an idea, and then we can think about how we want to do other things. So we did create this to be, let's see here, the whole page is 8.5 high. So I like to make my inner pocket or my inner pullout a little smaller. So then let's just do 8.25 high by, and this one's 5. I like to do it a little shorter and put a tab in there. So let's do 4 3/4, 4 3/4 wide. Okay. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to move this out of the way while it's drying. So let's see here. We're just going to get a piece of paper, and we're going to mat this as well. So let's see, have I got a scrap that is big enough? Woohoo! I think I do. Let's see, how high is this? Oh, perfect. So we've got I've got an offcut here. We're just going to use that. So it's going to be 4 3/4 wide. So I'm just going to trim that down. And it is going to be 8 1/4 high. So I'm just going to trim that down. So then we've got one of these. So let's ink the edges. And actually I'm going to punch. I do like to punch the edges on these. I don't know why. I just do. So let's just punch the outer two edges, because this is going to slide in the book this way. These will be the outside edges. So we're just going to do that. Now, the stuff that goes in these side pockets, I tend to keep it pretty flat. I don't embellish a whole lot because it's going in that pocket, and I do not want, you know, it being folded, flattened, or tweaked when it goes in and out of the pocket. So a lot of times I just do a basic padding with like a journal spot, or with a spot to put a picture or something. Just very basics so that it doesn't get damaged. So we're just going to pull out of our beautiful paper packs here and just see what have I got. I've got so many prints to choose from, but I'm going to look for one that's kind of got a journal spot. We'll keep that one. It's already been cut. Something like that allows you to do a bit of journaling or focusing on there. This one. And this one's pretty plain. Let's see. I think we're going to use this one. Keep it kind of simple. Okay, so because the dimensions, we cut this one, we should be able to get front and back out of here. So we cut it 4 3/4 wide. So you need a matting, a 1/4 inch because of matting. So we are going to go 4 1/2. So I'm just going to line this up to the 4 1/2 mark and just see where I'm going. I'm okay with that. That looks all right. So we're going to do a piece of 4 1/2 there and flip this over. The other side, I want the same piece on the other side to be 4 1/2 as well. There, squeak the fairy in. Perfect. And then we need it to be 8 inches high. So I'm going to do that down here. Just trimming a little bit off the bottom. So you still got parts. And this one, I'm going to keep as much on the bottom as I can. Ooh. I'm going to be cutting off part of this. Let's just try and do, I want to keep the birdie. So I'm going to trim just above the birdie's head and flip it around and see if I can get it at the 8-inch mark with not, yeah, perfect. So I still kept the birdie's head and most of the bottom, which that is perfect. So that should fit beautifully on here. So then let's round the edges. Just checking my time. Round my edges. So this will be on the front. And this one is going to be on the back. So make sure you round the proper edges. I laugh because I've done that so many times. It's not even funny. Okay, so I'm going to go and ink these right now off screen. You don't need to see that. Ink them, and I'm going to stitch around. Actually, I'm going to ink them. Am I going to stitch? I'm going to ink them and attach them, and then I'll be back because we're going to stitch after the fact. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have attached the pages front and back, and because it's in the side pocket, I do like to add a tab on the side just so it doesn't quite get lost. And I'm just looking to see. We're going to do another whale tab here just because there's quite a few in all 3 of these kits have some. All right, so this one, because of all the fruit, I'm just going to do this one here. but you can do any kind of tab you want. But again, I'm just showing you how to get the most out of your kits or stashes. I mean, and if you're like me, I have, you know, tabs from other kits, and I have them punched out in a little box and I add them, or I do make my own with scrap paper from time to time as well when I've got some cute scrap paper. I just keep them handy when I'm doing these because it's just a nice little thing to add. So what we're going to do this time is I'm just going to do a thin tape here. You could do tape or glue. Because I'm going to stitch all the way around here, I'm not going to worry too much about the adhering factor. And I'm just going to put it down there because I don't want to cover up the bird. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to stitch all the way around here. I'm going to stitch it once this way, flip it over and stitch it once this way, because if you sew, you can tell there's a right and a wrong side. This way, each one looks good from both sides. And then I'll be back. Okay, so I have stitched all the way around, and you can see here I've managed to catch the whale tail tab in there, so it's perfect. It's nice and secure. And we're just going to go and slip this right in our front pocket here. And you can see it slides in just enough that the tab sticks out, which is perfect. So this is our first front of our flap here. So what I'm going to do next time around is we're going to do something a little different on the back side here. But for now, we're going to end it there. That's a bit. You can see I will add the link for these below. And this will give you an opportunity to go through some of your kits and find some of these cards, tabs, postcards, you know, journaling cards and that. Get them out so that we can, because we are going to continue decorating and using all these in different ways. So don't forget to hit that like button. Please subscribe if you have not always. I want to thank everybody who's already subscribed. Thank you. And hopefully you're enjoying this. And don't forget to head on over to my Facebook site and show me what you are doing. Okay, I will hope to see you guys again soon. Have a great day.